Hi, John. Did you hear that CW is planning a Superman show? Do you think the crossover in December will lend into a potential show? What are your thoughts?
All right. Well, first of all, you guys know what my thoughts are on the CW Superman. I do not like what CW has done with Superman. I'm a fan of the CW universe. I like this. Even when I don't like Arrow, I still like the CW universe. You know, I'll watch Arrow because I'm a sucker for it, and I think Stephen Amell's great. I love The Flash, which Aaron Cummings was on The Flash the other night, which was really great. I'm lukewarm on Legends of Tomorrow. I love Black Lightning. That was my favorite new superhero show of the year last year. And Supergirl they've turned Superman to a jobber, so I hate that. I have no real interest in them taking this jobber Superman that they created and building a show around him because they've already ruined the character. They sent him in there they put Superman on this show for no other reason than to get beat up by Supergirl. That was the only reason they put him on the show, was to put Supergirl over. In wrestling terms, that is a jobber. You send in, and now fighting Hulk Hogan, Edgar Martinez, and nobody guy named Edgar Martinez runs in the ring. He's what's called a jobber. His job is simply to go in there and let Hulk Hogan beat him up to make Hulk Hogan look good. That's what they did to Superman. I don't mind you doing that to some comic book characters, but you do not do that to Batman, and you do not do that to Superman. Now, my thoughts on that are well documented. I'm not happy about the idea. Somebody then asked me, do you think this could be a way for them to redeem this character? Could this be a way for them to redeem the Superman character? And I thought, yeah, it's possible. But here's the thing we got to bring to everybody's awareness here. Before we go much further into this whole story about, what are the ramifications of CW doing a Superman movie, keep this in mind. While everybody is running these headlines that CW is developing a Superman series for their network, I always tell you guys, don't just look at the headlines, look at the source. Where are all these people getting this information from? The Superman getting his own series start, when you trace it back for all these sites, it all comes from one site. It's a site called Fandom Wire. And if you're looking at your computer monitor right now and saying, what the fuck is Fandom Wire? You're not alone. I ain't never heard of Fandom Wire. I don't think anybody's heard of Fandom Wire. And I'm not dissing on Fandom Wire. Maybe it's run by some really smart, great people. Maybe it is. I'm just saying it is not what you would put up there as a high, credible source. And they don't even say how they heard it. They don't say that we've got an insight. It's just they wrote it. CW is now developing this, and that's where it came from. And another site saw that information and ran with it as a story. And then another site saw that information and ran with it as a story. So off the top, I'm just going to say here that I don't even believe the story. I don't even believe this thing is true. I don't think they're actually making a movie or a TV show around Superman. I just don't think they're doing it at this point, and I don't think there's any point in doing it. Now, anything is possible, right? In this weird, wacky world, anything is possible. They could be bringing a Superman into his own show. It absolutely could be. I'm just saying right now, I don't really think it's viable. I don't think it's something that they're actually doing. But if they did, here's the interesting thing about that. If they did, the CW network really, look, it's already changing its identity, but the CW network is going to take a massive step between really altering their identity even more, because it's basically going to be a network of nothing but comic book shows. And you can even make an argument that Riverdale is a little bit of a comic book show too. And Supernatural is just Supernatural. It's just awesome. But let's look at this. If they do launch a Superman show, this is what the CW lineup looks like. Take a look at this. So obviously, we're going to have a Superman, right? We got him there. Of course, we're going to have Supergirl, who's still there. We're going to have Flash and Arrow, Black Lightning, Legends of Tomorrow. You're looking at a full lineup of nothing but, it's over here, of nothing but these superhero shows start to bottom. Now, if you like the shows, that's not a problem. Here's the other thing that makes me wonder about the legitimacy of this story. It's not whether or not CW is willing to use, or Warner Brothers is willing to let CW use the Superman character, because clearly they've lost interest in putting Superman on the big screen, so maybe they can use a small screen. But it's this. Arrow is a very different character from Flash. Flash is a very different character from Black Lightning. Black Lightning is a very different show from Legends of Tomorrow, and so on and so forth. Superman and Supergirl, they have the same origin, essentially. They come from the same place. They essentially have the same powers for the most part. Would it really be all that different of a show from a show they've already got on their network? Would it really be that fundamentally different? Because right now, as I said, when you look through that lineup that CW is putting out right now, they're all very different shows. They have the same kind of tone, yes, but narratively, character-wise, they're all very different from each other. There's a unique DNA to each one of those shows. You get into something like this, and you can't really say that. You get into a Superman and a Supergirl show, you can't really say that. So, number of reasons. The source of this, I think, puts us in question. Do you need to have a Supergirl and a Superman show running concurrently? I think that puts it into question. But then again, in this world, especially in entertainment, anything is possible. All right, let's move on to the next email. What's next?